Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Pro Cycling Manager 2020. This is Women's Tour. It's episode number 12. We're at stage 1 of the Tour of Portugal. I have no sprinters here because it's a 5-stage race and it's not going to come down to sprinters. We need a top 10 overall. So we're all about survival on this first stage. I'm not even going to set up a sprint train. Hopefully getting all of the riders on the same time here towards the end. Even with my current batch of sprinters, I really stand no chance of doing anything, and so we're just gonna break out safe and sound, and we do. Sarah Gigante takes the win. On to stage number 2, and this is where things are going to get challenging and very, very quick. This is a massive test for us, and to see how much progress we have made in the signings from Season 1 now that we are in Season 2. It's not a massive climb as far as climbs go, but that's a pretty big climb for a team like us. The little hill at the beginning of that would be a test if the finish was right at the beginning of that, where it kind of levels off for a while. And that's barely a taste of the climbing there is on the stage. Now, I brought my climbers to this race, and what I have for time trialists, which is nothing, but I brought my climbers here so that we can potentially do something with this race. My expectations are very low. I do not think we're going to get anywhere near that top 10 that we need. Could we get a top 25? Maybe. So we'll just give it our all. I expect that we will be dropped from the group. I don't want to overcommit and then just completely be exhausted ahead of time. I'd rather lose the bunch and climb at our pace and re-overtake as we go along, especially protecting some of the riders along the way. So before I get too late, I better go get water. So I have 6 climbers with air quotes here. Let's start with what we have. I'm going to slow this down as we're getting a little bit later into this stage now. So Acacia Sheer, 64 mountain, but only 56 resistance. And you can see already, whoa, Sheer and Valenti are very much about to get dropped. And Vanderpeet, see how quickly that just happened. Let's go ahead and bring it back down as well. Okay, they're okay. Let's speed it back up a little bit. 2 riders were dropped, and we nearly had that happen. It did help us conserve some energy. At least there was that much. All right, now, support riders. Acacia Sheer, 64, 56. Barely a bonus. Maxwell with the race day condition bonus, 63. We'd take that last year, right? That was near the top of what we had. In fact, Sheer was the top of what we had. Donadin, one of our top riders coming in, but a -3 race day condition. No luck to be had, as our top 2 are the 2 red race day conditions today. That really hurts our chances. 66 mountain, 64 base resistance, but a 60 on the resistance today. At least her mountain wasn't affected. But that hurts. I mean, you can see how much she's already struggling. This is the last climb before we get to the final climb, so we've made it through. Maxwell, Sheer, Donadin, a little bit on the barely side, but they're through. Okay, now on to the supported riders. Vanderpeet should be the star, should be the leader here, but a -2 race day condition hurts her chances a little bit. 67 mountain today, just a 64 resistance. The stamina also hurting. That's a pretty long stage. Brookshire has a chance today. Not normally one of our best, would be a support climber, but 67 today. 69 resistance. I think she's the one we're going to end up riding for. Problem is there is a time trial on this, and we're going to need Vanderpeet for that. So, as she is only slightly better than Vanderpeet, we're going to ultimately have to sacrifice her to help Vanderpeet along the way, because we need a top 10 overall, not in a stage. The other rider we are supporting, Mamalenti. Mamalenti is one of our high potential riders, but still just in the mix with everybody else. Normally a 63 mountain, today a 66. Also 66 on the resistance. So Donadin I would have as a go-to, but not a good time trialist anyway. Vanderpeet, despite a -2, we've got to try to get Vanderpeet to hang on and then use Brookshire and Mamalenti in that lead up and Donadin as much as we can. See good recovery happening here. 63 of us chasing 3 riders. They still have a 2-minute gap, but on a big mountain like that, that will go away very, very quickly unless those 3 happen to be, say, the 3 favorites. But it would probably show them with an F instead of an E1.
The breakaway is not to everybody's liking.
Sprint point, nothing available here. There they are, by the way. Gap's already down to a 1.5 minutes. And first part of the climb, I expect, well, I don't know, we've had some recovery. I think we might just make it through the first part of the climb, though we need to reset here. Let's say 85. I want to try to hold through the first part of the climb. We'll have to keep an eye on Shear and Maxwell especially, see how quick they're deteriorating, and then use their gel before it's too late. I want to kind of save it for the second phase of the climb, but I'm not sure they're going to still be around at that point. Coming up on it now. Let the fun begin. 17K to go. And we're climbing, folks. 15.3K from the finish. It's on like Donkey Kong. Struggling at the 85 pace. We catch the breakaway very, very quickly.
Well, we can see that the pack is increasing
and
the pace.
that
It's
tempo
going to be difficult to break away now.
has been brutal. It is going to level off a little bit, and these 3 are going to just make it through this sector as we do ease off. And they're going to have a little bit more time, but it was a little too late. It was the pace. That initial climb was attacked really hard by whatever team is leading out the peloton there. We're going to lose all 3 of them without the bonus of... gosh, they're not the first ones out, but it is a little bit nice that they are together. And actually, I would have them, say, relay at about a 67. Can you do that? Stay together? We'll see how well they stay together like that. They have very little energy, but they can just about make that happen. All right, coming up on the harder section, Mamalenti. Go ahead and protect Vanderpeet. You see all 3 of them struggling after that difficult section. Top 10, there's 52 here. Don't like our odds right now, especially how fatigued they all are. But again, that was a crazy hard, crazy difficult opening section. 6K, I want to back off a little bit because you can see just how close to the end we are. Gel, this is way too close to the end.
5 kilometers to the finish line.
Mamalenti is nearly done. Brookshire take over. Vanderpeet, go ahead and use your gel. It's 4K to go now. Mamalenti dropping. It's down to 31. It's looking a little better now.
Watch out, a team leader is falling behind.
Down to 28 now. Mamalenti hanging on at the back of the group. We're seeing an attack from the front contenders. Let them go. I am so not interested in following. I'm interested in surviving. So we're going to see quite a few riders go away from this group. But we see another set coming out the back. Now it's 24 left in some sort of contention. Vanderpeet, just 2K to go. Okay, there goes Brookshire. 10
Again,
up,
an attack is launched. The
10
group has to
down.
break apart.
We're right in the middle of that.
There we go. The sprint is on. The riders are setting themselves up.
And repeat. Okay, out of energy, up, 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 up.
This win is well deserved.
Sophia
She
Began for the
displayed
win.
tremendous tenacity.
June Malseed,
We're waiting for the back
Lee
markers
Ricka,
who appear to be
top
fairly
3.
numerous in this difficult race.
We're not going to be a top 10, but I think we're going to be about 13th. Let's see if my estimate was correct. Exactly, 13th. And a good time trial performance. Top 10 still possible. For Vanderpeet into 13th. Not bad, not bad. And not huge time gaps either. Brookshire, good performance. Here's Mamalenti. And here's our trio working together. I like it, I like it. They stuck together. Made it to the top as a team. They'll be 7 minutes down. And just outside of the top 50. Top 50, or right about where they finished. That could have been Sheer, which, hey, look, Sheer, 55th. But a season ago, that probably would have been Sheer crossing the line first, around 55th place. So, progress, progress. 13th, though, is not top 10. But it is possible, so not a bad stage. I'm happy with that. Onto the stage that counts. This is the one that's going to have an impact. Mamalenti looking a little better on a +2, Brookshire on a -1, and Vanderpeet +2 today. +2, that's going to help a lot. Okay, so I'm not going to spend much time on Mamalenti or Brookshire, but here's a quick update. Time gaps were spread out all over through the first 10 to 11 riders. Some are around the 11th or 12th rider. They put everybody on same time from that point all the way to the back of the group, even though they were pretty far spread out. Brookshire was about a minute behind Vanderpeet on the road at the finish. Brookshire was the last one in the group crossing the line. Had a good 2 bike lengths between her and the rider in front of her. She got same time. Vanderpeet, same time, because she was about second wheel or third wheel at the front of that group of about 11 riders. So even though Vanderpeet was about 8 spots in front of Brookshire, they ended up on same time at the finish, which means it's not just us right behind a couple riders in front of us in the standings and potentially cracking the top 10, but that puts a good dozen riders right behind that mark, aiming for the top 10. So very unfortunate. You can see Mamalenti being passed by somebody here, so that's not good. She's going the wrong direction. Brookshire, how we doing at the second check? 36, 2 minutes down. We need Vanderpeet. Vanderpeet was about a minute behind. We're catching Brookshire. It is top 10 right now. Top 10 territory comparatively. It's hard to say, though, with 19 riders behind us, how many still have to go through, like, say, the first time check. I like that we're getting past Brookshire and we're in better shape on the stamina. There's a little downhill here, so I think even though we still have a slight deficit, we will be able to push in the final few meters. There you can see that. And now we get that little push right before the line. There we go. 7th. So she cracked the top 10, at least initially. We'll see how far she drops. She's already down 1 spot to 8th. But considering how poor we are, hovering in and around the top 10 is good. 9th place now. No danger here. No danger here. Okay. Zorzi, the first one who's going to challenge and likely go ahead of us, but based on the timing, we've still got a chance here. No, she goes 9th right in front of us. We're 10th. Here's Gigante, one of the threats. Ooh, second quickest. past that person. Travisi is a similar spot. Vanderpeet's now 11th, now 12th. She was 2 spots ahead of us, but the times are close. Naskova, we're now into the time differences. She is passed by somebody on her left and another rider coming in right after her. So there were some good times in there. There's an 8th place. There's a 3rd place. Rika enters this stage in 3rd place. Rika sets the best time. Past that rider. So this is Began. Last rider. No, not last rider on course. Malseed's been passed. Began's going to put in a good time. That should be it on passing us. We get 17th on the stage. So we're still outside of the top 10. For sure. We'll move up some. We'll move down some. But that 20th literally had us at the back of that group of about 20 riders in contention before we see a big time gap. So you see we're not in the top 10 here. Hickey got most of the riders changed, but it looks like Danny Hickey's a holdover. I did adjust the database from last episode to this episode. Deleted the new gen male riders. The ones already on teams, just altered the names. So we'll have to check where we are. We are outside the top 10. I don't think we're far outside. I think we are pretty close. But how are we going to make up that time, right? 17th on stage, lost 1:26. I'm not worried about Lee Ricka. It's more about getting top 10, where it looks like we're losing about 20 seconds. We're going to have to find 20 seconds. There we are, 13th overall now at 3:07. And there it is right there. Hickey in 10th is the mark, 2:46. So like I said, 20 seconds, it's 21. So we're about 21 seconds back. We're going to need to find about half a minute between now and the finish. Somewhere, somehow. 2 stages to go. Let's take a look at what the profile is for those last 2 stages. We're not going to find it here unless we find 3 seconds right there. And I'm going to have a hard time finding it here as well. Short, punchy finish. I have a chance, though, if that is split into groups. We'll see some time gaps. I think cracking the top 10 is going to be a difficult task, but we're so much closer and far more competitive than a season ago. It's just asking a lot of us with a big mountain stage and a time trial. We're close, not close enough, but we'll develop. Donadin's already developed. Vanderpeet has already developed from the time that we first had them in the dossiers, right? Vanderpeet developed right before we signed her. Donadin has developed over the last month. It was a 67, now a 68. So we're already seeing progress within the team. As the season goes on, we should see additional progress. But right now, that we're competitive, but we're still just a little short of where we need to be. Those were 2 pretty tough stages. We won't always face stages that are that difficult. A little less difficult, and I think we can pull off some successes this season. And I think maybe we can be in the green and get a little more sponsor confidence. Not sure it's going to happen in this race, but I don't think we're going to drop a whole lot either with this result. 2.5 stars, though, it'll drop some. But if we're 13th at the end, we won't be too far out of it. I had no interest in the sprint here at the end. I don't think it's going to go well, but I saw that Donadin's race day condition bonus was so much that we might actually be able to do something with Donadin and maybe with Vanderpeet, but you can already see teams going past us. We're giving it a shot. It's stage 4. There's very little expectations for this one. You can see Donadin putting in a pretty dang good sprint, but Vanderpeet fell behind. Can't even get to the end on her own like this. So, yeah, nothing doing on this one. as
He
expected.
managed to sprint like a
Maria
master of escort.
Safanov,
He was
Lisa
certainly the fastest
Balsamo, and Gian Maria Zorzi takes third. Where did we eventually cross? Donadin was 13th, Vanderpeet was 17th. Donadin led Vanderpeet out and was much too fast for her. If we had let out Donadin might be been able to do a little bit more, place a little higher, but that would have been a top 10 at best. We weren't going to get a top 3, which was why I was thinking about bypassing the stage, but Donadin looked so good. It was like,
And here are the
we'll
race
give it a
highlights we selected for
shot.
you.
We'll give it a shot. We'll try something. Yep. Stage 5. Punchy. It's our last and only chance to gain time and move up the order. It's also a chance to go down the order. So hopefully we can at least maintain and maybe improve. I don't know where we're going to find 30 seconds over some of the other top 10 riders. Final stage. And overall, as a team, nothing wrong with the race day condition. It's come out exactly where it should. We've had some riders plus, some riders minus. Day 1 of this race, we had no one on a fitness peak. We now have 2 on a fitness peak, and we have a few riders very, very close to hitting a fitness peak that they'll hit any day now. Speaking of hitting any day now, Vanderpeet is about 2 days away from starting a fitness peak, but hasn't hit it yet. So her expected race day condition throughout this race has been a 0. She has not had that. She's had a single positive race day condition in this race. She's had a single 0, and then she's had 3 negatives. And 2 big negatives on the 2 days where it's really counted the climbing stages. -3 for Vanderpeet today. Again, overall, team, fine, right where we should be. She has been incredibly unlucky individually, and that's really hurt us in this race. Donadin looks really good today. Maxwell, Shear look really good today. Donadin and Mamalenti are pretty punchy. We could get a result here if we were focused on them, if we were focused on a stage victory, but we're focused on GC. That's our objective. Top 10. It's all Vanderpeet. Nobody else is anywhere near the timing they need. As we approach the top on this one, make sure Mamalenti don't get dropped. Oh, Mamalenti. Dang you. Okay, recover for a moment, and then Maxwell. Come on, we're almost there. Tribute, pull it back. Let's get in that bunch. Shear and Brookshire don't have much left. Maxwell's looking good. That +4. And Mamalenti. I don't want to lose Mamalenti. 70 hill rating today. Oh, Maxwell. You're not out of energy. Why are you getting dropped here? We were half a bike length away. Brookshire's done. Vanderpeet up the effort. Donadin. Protect Vanderpeet. Come on. There goes Mamalenti. We're still in the group. Oh, come on. Don't sit up. You're going in 88. Why do you look like you're suddenly sitting up? You opened the gap, not anybody else.
Watch out! A team leader is falling behind.
Yeah, that's us. That is us. Okay, follow. 19.8. And Mamalenti not made it. these riders a fair shot. Mamalenti certainly covered some ground, but not enough. Come on, 32 riders ahead. Donadin. Go hard. Go hard. Bridge that gap. Bridge that gap. 35 seconds. Almost in contact. We want to do it before we hit that upcoming section. Come on. We're right there.
This climb is feared by
Back
many
in
riders.
contact.
The
Back
percentages
in
are very
contact.
high.
And Vanderpeet struggling to keep up with the sudden uphill because of that stupid -3 that she's sitting on, and she's not punchy.
There's now just 10 kilometers left.
Still set on follow. Come on. Donadin, go ahead and sit in place. Vanderpeet, don't get dropped. We had the contact. This time it was somebody else's fault that split the gap. 5 riders dropped. Donadin coming back to help. Okay, Donadin. Pick it up. Pull us back. There we go. It's back together. 34 riders. Vanderpeet. Barely anything left, though. I think we're losing our top 10, and we are now in place. 5K to go. Mamalenti ran out of energy. Chasing. Never made it. Donadin's now got nothing in the tank with 4K to go. And Vanderpeet has very, very little. We're not going to finish top 13. We're not going to finish top 10. We're going to lose some time here. Okay, Donadin, lead her out. Don't get caught behind the slow riders. Okay, Donadin now is the slow rider. So, Vanderpeet. Just gently go, because it's 2K you've got to survive for here. So you're going to slip backwards. Top 25. 1.4K. 1.2. Inside the final K.
And they're off. It's going to be
She
very
is
fast.
about 17th right now, and that was it. That was all the energy.
A great win in the sprint of the strongman. We're waiting for
Now
the back
18th,
markers who
now
appear to be fairly
19th.
numerous in this difficult
Yep.
race.
Rika for the win. Began, Noskova. We're going to stay top 20. We're certainly not dropping that far, but that was a difficult one. Mamalenti getting dropped early hurt that little gap, not being able to hold on to it. We lost 2 strong support climbers that way, our 2 strongest outside
are a
of
few of the key moments.
Donadin. And then trying to make up for that, trying to get at least Mamalenti back in. I allowed Vanderpeet to get a little too far back, and then had to try to make up for that. We needed to stay a little further up the group. Yes, we needed to conserve energy at the same time, but we conserved a little too much, dropped a little too far back, and then we lost Donadin, our primary support rider, just to get back into the group, and also damaged Vanderpeet's energy quite a bit in that chase, in that increased effort. So rough race. But again, we're not that good as climbers, and Vanderpeet would have been fine if she wasn't on that negative race day condition at that time where she slipped back. And in that chase, it was made significantly harder considering her race day condition. So she loses a minute 47. That drops her just 1 place. It's 14th. That's still not bad. I mean, think about it where we were. Could that have gone better? Definitely. Hickey, we are 50 seconds behind. So we lost about 20 seconds from where we were comparatively to Hickey. Noskova is the one who passed us, by the way. Noskova was, second or third on the stage, so we lost almost 2 minutes to Noskova. Other than that, it looks like we were right about in the same position we were in previously. Same names ahead of us. So, not all bad, but not a top 10 either. So, it's a partial failure, but it's a good effort, and it does show the progress we've made. A lot of progress. 3 difficult stages, and we didn't just totally blow up. We just struggled. Big step in the right direction. Still plenty of ground to cover. Plenty of room to go. Some easier stages, like I said last episode. Some easier races, and we will find some successes. We will have a few passes. We got really lucky with the ones we passed last season, just squeezing 9th, 10th places on flat races. But that's all we did, right? Nothing else. Climbs, we were well behind. Sheer, a few times, got, top 25s, top 30s, and we were like, woohoo! We'll definitely do better than that. Vanderpeet, Donovan, they're going to definitely do better than that. So, step in the right direction. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to hit that like button, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there, and bye for now.